Hey guys, so for today's video, I'm going to be choosing my ideal Dungeons & Dragons party based on fantasy characters. So I was actually inspired for this from a post on Reddit on r/fantasy that I saw a couple weeks back, and I thought it was really fun, and yeah, so I wanted to share my choices with you guys. So I'm going to be doing one character from each series just so that I don't have an entire party filled with characters from Wheel of Time or Stormlight Archive, because that could definitely be done. My party is going to consist of a Warlock, which is basically somebody who's made like a pact with a demon for power. I love Warlocks. Every time I've played D&D, I always choose a Warlock class. It's really great. So I'm going to have a Warlock. I'm going to have a Fighter. That one is pretty self-explanatory. I'm going to have a Rogue. So Rogues deal mostly in stealth. So think thieving, assassins, that kind of stuff. I'm going to have a Cleric for healing. And I'm going to have a Sorcerer for magic. So for my Fighter, I'm going to start with Fighter. I feel like there's a lot of good ones that could be, I feel like there's a lot of good characters that could be a good fighter from fantasy. I think Kaladin Stormblessed is a very obvious choice, as is Jaime Lannister, although it depends, like, am I allowed to choose Jaime Lannister from, like, book 2? Although I wouldn't trust Jaime Lannister from book 2. So I think we're going to go with the Reaper of Mars. That's going to be Darrow from Red Rising is going to be my fighter on my D&D party. For my Cleric, that is my healer. I think that there's once again, a lot of good options for this. An Edge Dancer would be a pretty obvious choice, but I don't really like Lift. I do not want Lift on my D&D party. She is annoying, in my opinion, I find. And I don't just want, like, you know, like nameless Edge Dancer number 3. So another obvious choice would be an Aes Sedai. I was thinking Moraine, but I don't know, I guess how, like, I'm only on book 5 of the Wheel of Time, so I don't know how good she is at healing as opposed to, like, maybe another Aes Sedai. I know Nynaeve, like, speaks about wanting to, like, have joined the Yellow Aja, and that a lot of her motivations are based on healing, and she was also the wisdom back in Aemon's Field, so she does have, like, knowledge of, like, healing herbs and stuff. So I think I'm gonna go with Nynaeve Almira for my Cleric. For my Rogue, Locke Lamora was the first thought I had. Locke Lamora from Gentleman Bastards. He is a thief. I think that would be really good, but I feel like Vin would also be another good choice. Vin from Mistborn. And I just feel like it depends on what you expect from a rogue in a D&D party. So, okay, I feel like they would both get the job done. If I was like, okay, I need this thing, this magic artifact to be stolen, I feel like both Locke Lamora and Vin would get it done. It just depends on how murderous I want that to be. How many bodies do I want left behind to get this thing stolen? Because I feel like Locke Lamora, I could give him, you know, Jean and I could just give Locke Lamora Jean in like a week to figure something out, and they would do it, and it would be great. Vin would probably do it in an hour and murder everybody in the way. So it's like, do I want more of a thief or more of an assassin? It's like if you've ever played Dishonored, how you can play the game like completely stealthy without really killing anybody, or you can play the game with just like full bloodshed. Like, that's the difference between Locke Lamora and Vin as a rogue. And I feel like fighting would definitely be a necessity in D&D, obviously, so I think I'm gonna go with Vin for my rogue, but Locke Lamora is like a close second. Okay, for my sorcerer, I thought Kaladin Stormblessed at first, although I don't know, like, Kaladin is more skilled in spear fighting and, like, not hand-to-hand combat, but in physical combat, more so than in, like, magic specifically. Like, I know he's able to use magic, he can use Stormlight, but I don't really know if I'd consider him, like, a good sorcerer, so I'm thinking I'm gonna go with Jasna Kholin. Jasna Kholin kicks ass. And finally, for Warlock, this one is tough because I actually can't think of any, like, that many Warlock characters that I know from series that I've read. The Forsaken would be, I guess, pretty good ones. I know that they don't technically get their powers from the Dark One, but I'm gonna say it counts. But first of all, I already chose Nynaeve for my Cleric, but also I don't trust any of the Forsaken, not enough to have them on my party. So I'm thinking for this one, I'm gonna go with Thoros of Myr from A Song of Ice and Fire for my Cleric, or for my Warlock. So that is my ideal D&D party. I've got Darrow from Red Rising as my warlock. I've got Nynaeve Almira from Wheel of Time as my cleric. I've got Vin from Mistborn as my rogue. I've got Thoros of Mir as my warlock, and I've got Yasna Kolan from Stormlight Archive as my sorcerer. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you liked it, consider subscribing. Thank you so much.